Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to be exploring the dark side of living in the Netherlands. Now, we're always checking out some cool stuff, some interesting stuff, a lot of stuff we're learning about, history and kind of stuff like that. This is going to be the dark side of living in the Netherlands. That's what the video is called. The original, excuse me, the original video is by the channel Learning Canteen. Got it pulled up here on my iPad. So let's jump into it. We're going to check out the dark side of living in the Netherlands and see what it's all about. Every country has a dark side, right?
The dark side of living in the Netherlands. There is a wide variety of advantages that come along with relocating to the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a country that has a lot to offer everybody, whether they are searching for a higher standard of life, more work prospects, or a location to live that is cheaper. Let's not sugarcoat things and have an honest conversation about some of the challenges you could face if you decide to relocate to the Netherlands. 1. It's an expensive country.
Yeah, I've heard that. It is an expensive country, but also, you know, the benefits that you're getting, though, compared to some of the other countries, you know, the infrastructure is on point, the healthcare, the education system, stuff like that is just a lot better than a lot of places. So sometimes you get what you pay for, you know.
Netherlands is well known for having some of the highest tax rates in the world, and almost everything is subject to taxation. The income tax is particularly high in contrast to those of other countries in Europe.
I mean, high taxes does suck. Nobody wants those, though, of course.
You could also discover that the prices of electronic goods are higher in the Netherlands. Here's a pro tip: shop on the German Amazon, and that the prices of some foods are also a little bit more. On the other hand, it is possible to acquire some excellent prices if you have learned how to shop and where to shop.
Yeah, guys, so pro tip, shop on the German Amazon, and you'll get some of your electronics cheaper than in the Netherlands.
The relationship between supply and demand is to blame for the typically high cost of rent throughout the whole of the United States. Jobs in general pay very well here, yet in the end, it all comes down to how you look at it. 2. You have to learn a new language. Even though most Dutch people are aware of this fact...
Not necessarily, because out of all the countries where English is not an official language, the Dutch people are the most fluent in speaking English. Like, something like 90% of the country knows how to speak English. So, I mean, obviously it'll be easier if you speak English because your government papers, you know, tax papers, all this kind of official stuff, the road signs, street signs, it's all going to be in Dutch. But as far as communicating with people, I feel like you can get by pretty good speaking English. But again, if you're going to move to another country, you should probably just learn their language anyways.
Conversational English is not sufficient. You are going to need to educate yourself in Dutch, since the majority of the labels, notices, goods and parcels are all in Dutch.
Yeah.
You are going to have...
You know, and speaking of that, I'm actually trying to learn how to speak Dutch myself. I have another channel for that called Charlie Learns Dutch, and you can find a link to that down below. So go check that out if that's something you're interested in. I do need to get back onto it, though, and start making some more videos and continue my Dutch learning lesson, but that's another story. I do have like 30 episodes or something on there ready to watch, so by the time you get done with episode 30, I'll have more content out, so don't worry about that.
To utilize Google Translate wherever you go to public locations like the grocery or railway stations until you master the local language. It is well known that the service sector in the Netherlands is notorious for being less helpful and more difficult to navigate than in other nations. Even if someone has been downright impolite to us extremely seldom, the Dutch aren't exactly famed for their ability to provide good customer service. You are either going to have to wait an eternity to speak to the manager, you are going to be in a line of 25 people on the phone, or you are going to have to wait weeks for a response to an email. Not to mention the level of frustration that a good number of individuals experience whenever they are confronted with tasks such as receiving mail or shipments. 3.
I feel like we have that same problem here, though. I'm on the phone for hours anytime I need to get a hold of anybody. It's the same thing. Maybe it's worse there. It could be worse than the Netherlands, but that sounds like a very big problem we also have here.
Accommodation. Insane housing shortages are plaguing the Netherlands at the moment. As a result, it is essential to do apartment hunting in advance of relocating to this location for permanent residence.
I've heard that.
There are both furnished and unfurnished apartments available to choose. The furnished homes come with very huge rent prices. When you rent a property that isn't equipped, you may think you're getting a good deal, but in reality, you have to buy everything, even rugs and appliances that are necessary.
That's a pretty standard thing here too. I mean, you go into big cities and you might find some furnished apartments and stuff, but like at least like where I'm at, it's not a big city. Where I'm at, most places, I'd say 90% of places that you're going to go around here, unfurnished. You got to buy everything. So you rugs, appliances. I mean, obviously, all of that stuff is not there. So you gotta provide for it. So that's something I'm definitely used to, and a lot of people here in the United States are used to also. Unless, like I said, big cities, New York, Chicago, stuff like that, you can get apartments and stuff like that are furnished, just not so much in rural America.
In addition, property owners are reaping the benefits of the housing shortage by charging their renters unreasonable prices. Due to the unfortunate state of affairs in the housing market in the Netherlands, it is essential that you begin your search for a new place to call home at the earliest possible date. Bear in mind that there are no assurances that you will locate a location right away, yet you should not give up hope. If you want to live in Amsterdam or one of the other cities in the Randstad, you need to be extremely patient in your hunt for a new house, and you should prepare for a little bit of more wiggle space in your budget. 4. It's expensive to own a car. In the Netherlands, owning a vehicle...
They made it expensive though, because they wanted to divert people from driving vehicles and get people more into biking, which is great. It's good for the environment. It's good. It's just healthy in general also. So
is unquestionably an investment in your future. The cost of owning a car is high, including not just the initial purchase price, but also the costs of maintenance, repairs, and insurance for the vehicle. This is primarily the Dutch government's approach of discouraging individuals from driving, but so far it hasn't been very effective in accomplishing that goal. Oh, and there are regulations in place to stop someone from just purchasing a vehicle in Germany or one of the other nations in the region, bringing it into the country and selling it for a profit. If you are considering purchasing a vehicle and wanted to reduce the amount of money you spent, you should keep this in mind. 5. Difficult to make friends. It is not simple to penetrate a Dutch circle of acquaintances.
It's not easy for me to make friends here, so pretty used to that one.
Because Dutch people spend around half the year inside, curled up on their sofas in their cozy homes, and their lives are dominated by their agendas.
That's what I do.
You will understand this when you see how the Dutch spend their time. If you want to make friends in the Netherlands, the greatest time to do it is in the summer. The Dutch are known for their warm and welcoming nature. When people start walking about in flip-flops, when parks are crowded with throwaway grills, and when tepid white wine is served in plastic glasses, it's time to mix and mingle. It is important to have patience and perseverance if you want to make actual friends in the Netherlands. Friends who will call you and consider inviting you over to their homes. Although your initial interactions with Dutch people will always be pleasant and friendly, you will quickly discover that it takes time and effort to do so.
It's funny. I met a bunch of friends in the Netherlands. I've never even been to the Netherlands, just from my YouTube channel.
Discover that it takes time and effort to do so. It is not typical for Dutch people to establish a friendship on a casual conversation that took place in a park. It may take some time before a person from the Netherlands will accept you into his inner circle of good friends. 6. The weather. From June to September, the Netherlands has mild temperatures. After that, there is a 50% chance of precipitation and a 100% chance of sub-zero temperatures. The weather has dropped to the point that you will want to stay indoors as much as possible. People in the...
that's also not much different. It's pretty bad right now. I mean, we just got done having like one of the coldest blizzards on record, actually, last week. So, pretty used to that.
Netherlands are used to the chilly weather. Some of them even ride while it's snowing. Because of the inconsistency of the seasons and the erratic nature of the weather, you spend the better part of the year inside. In addition, spending so much time alone, indoors, for such a long period of time may be depressing and tedious.
Yeah, it is. I've been spending a lot of time alone inside. It's cold outside. There's nowhere to go. And personal reasons. I'm just by myself right now, so I'm sure you know if you've been following my channel.
7. Taxes are high.
You just
An
said taxes are
individual
high
worker
earlier.
in the Netherlands is subject to a tax rate of 36.1%, which is among the highest in the world. When compared to the other 38 nations that are members of the OECD, the Netherlands has the 22nd highest tax burden. The income tax and social security tax together make about 70% of the overall tax wedge. A tax rate of 29.1% is applied to married couples who have 2 children. In addition, the government offers benefits for children in order to make the lives of their parents a little bit easier.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, taxes are high, but you got a lot of benefits. You get a lot of stuff out of it. So in the long run, your quality of life, I feel like, is just a lot nicer. There's a better work-life balance on top of it and everything.
8. The Dutch are very direct. The Dutch people are known for their forthright.
Earlier I said very warm and inviting, friendly. Now the Dutch are very direct, which I guess you can still be warm and inviting and direct. It just almost sounds contradictory. I don't know. But yes, I've definitely heard the Dutch can be direct. But it makes sense. Why beat around the bush when you can just get straight to the point, no confusion, everybody's on the same page. I'm on board with it. I like it.
And the fact that they always follow the regulations. Because they contribute to order and maintain it, planning, organizing, rules and regulations are held in high respect. This ensures that buses and trains will arrive at their destinations on time and that there is no possibility of bribery, but it also results in a significant amount of bureaucracy. Not just in their professional lives, but also in their private relationships, the Dutch place a high value on timeliness and preparation. The Dutch are very attached to their agendas. A popular proverb in the Netherlands is, "A meeting is a meeting." You are required to let the individual know if you are going to be 5 minutes behind for a meeting, regardless of how informal the encounter may be. It is not acceptable to just show up to someone's home unexpectedly, so don't even think about it. The Dutch are not...
Yeah, I don't like that either. Don't show up unexpected here. And I also agree, a meeting's a meeting. Now, I will say I do run late sometimes. I don't want to. I hate to. I want to be on time. I really just want to be on time. But again, sometimes things happen, you know.
Known for their spontaneous nature. A little amount of forthrightness may really go a very long way while you're still getting used to living in a brand new place. Saying what you mean and then following through with what you say are both components of the Dutch way of life. On the other hand, please don't confuse this with impoliteness of any kind. People in the Netherlands are known for their willingness to help, candor.
You know what they just said? I'm going to back it up just a second. Saying what you mean, right? Doing what you say, stuff like that. Now, I'm guilty of that. I say stuff all the time, but it's good intentions. I would love to do these things that I say. And then just life happens and I don't do it. And then I feel bad about it because I've already said I'm going to. So like there's certain videos that I said I'm going to do I haven't done yet. I still haven't done it yet. And I really need to get around to doing certain videos that I've talked about, like my Danish rye bread video. It will be coming up soon. I know I've been saying that for a couple months now. But again, life happens, you know, so I try.
And straightforwardness. When working on a project, asking for an opinion or seeking guidance, this straightforwardness is likely to come into play at some point. If you ask a Dutch person a question, they will not be afraid to give you an honest response, even if it is something that you would be tempted to spin in a more positive light.
Yeah.
Being so forthright may save a lot of time and lead to improved organization, as well as the certainty that you will always know where you stand. Moving into a new property and selecting the appropriate neighborhood for it is not an easy decision to make.
Red light district.
To be able to make an educated choice, it is critical to have the ability to recognize and discount any sort of hyperbole or embellishment that may be presented. The aforementioned disadvantages of living in the Netherlands are not intended to cast a negative light on the stunning location. Rather, they are presented as an objective method for assisting individuals in making an informed decision about whether or not to move there based on their particular real-life circumstances.
It's a cool looking building.
Someone could be able to make enough money to cover their living needs in the Netherlands, but they might not be able to adjust to the chilly weather there. Others, on the other hand, may find the bustle with visitors on the street to be a little bit too taxing on their passion for tranquility and solitude. It is entirely up to the individual, and all we did was provide some suggestions to assist you in making the best decision possible.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well, there you guys have it. Thank you for watching the dark side of living in the Netherlands. And honestly, I don't know what, like that wasn't really the dark side. Like this is just all, most of that's just normal to me. The cold stuff, the weather, that's all very relatable. A lot of that I already knew about. I mean, I have, in all fairness, I have been watching a lot of videos about Dutch stuff, doing a lot of Dutch reactions and stuff like that. So anyways, links down below if you want to support the channel. Join the Discord, links for that. Charlie Learns Dutch, links for that channel if you want to see me doing some Dutch lessons on Duolingo. Have a super fun, awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, take care, guys. Bye.